Let's bring in defense attorney Mark Geragos, former federal prosecutor Gene Rossi. First, Gene, let me give you a chance to rebut my presumption that these are trumped-up charges, that they did 34 of them, and this was part of the move of going from misdemeanor to felony, but they all related to the same thing.
Chris, you are wrong. Here's why. You're wrong on the sense that the federales, the Trump Justice Department, basically did not want to try this case against Trump. I represented Keith Davidson. I mentioned this before. I was at 4 proffer sessions with the 4 prosecutors who were brilliant. And here's what stuck out at me based on my 27 years. They had Michael Cohen bite the bullet on these charges in federal court. And at his Rule 11, his plea hearing, he said, I was directed by individual 1, or whoever they called him. We all know it was Trump. I have never had a case where the person below eats it and the guy who directed him above gets a pass. And here's why. In the 2 years after that guilty plea in August of 2018, here's what happened. The Attorney General of the United States and his minions in the Trump Justice Department basically told the Southern District of New York federal prosecutors, a premier offer, stand down. So that case basically was killed. And by the time let me finish. By the time that Merrick Garland got it, he just said, I'm not going to get involved again. So are they trumped up charges? I will agree with you on this. On appeal, they do have an argument, among other reasons, and I could talk about it, where they did not connect the false invoices to affecting the election. They do have that argument as a matter of law. The evidence was insufficient. But when you have jurors say 34 times out of 34, you're guilty, that tells me the jury got it.
Well, but they were all related to the same transaction, and I agree with you about the feds. I said in my opening, you were not listening carefully enough, perhaps, or misheard,
in part,
that partly they passed on it. Yeah, because in part, they didn't want to bring the case, and in part, they were told not to bring the case. I think two things can be true at once. Mark Geragos, do you believe that Donald John Trump will be sentenced to any kind of jail time?
I think there's a good likelihood that he will be. I think, and I'd mentioned this to you before, the New York State Court, at least, this is a standard practice, is what I'm told, in terms of not remanding into custody. If this were California, for instance, he would be in custody as of right now. But any jail time that he gets is going, even if 30, 60, 90 days, whatever it would be, will be stayed pending appeal, would be my guess. And the appeal will not be heard until after the election. There's a certain irony here. I mean, they've argued, the theory is that he did this so that the public would not find out about Stormy Daniels prior to the election. Well, the public has now heard about Stormy Daniels for a month straight, leading up to the election. If he wins, then it kind of debunks the whole theory to begin with. And Chris, I agree with you. This is, once again, I'll cite California law. We have a doctrine, 654 Kellett, where you cannot do this kind of thing, where you chop this up into 34 slices of the same pie. You wouldn't be allowed to do it. You wouldn't be allowed to reinvigorate an expired statute of limitations. And I agree with you. This is the most we've ever agreed on anything. This is a stretch, and I will tell you, it's ironic, I suppose, that at the same time, all the people who are arguing that Judge Merchan should have recused himself are the same people who are blasting the others that Alito should recuse himself. I mean, each side is fighting tribally, and it really has gotten to the point where the criminal law is being used as kind of a cudgel, and it shouldn't be.
Hey, thank you for watching. Please go to newsnationnow.com, newsnationnow.com, and you can find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button down below. Then you will get more of NewsNation's fact-driven coverage.